In this video, we do a full stack of Engelhard Prospector rounds. Welcome to Silver Bar Stacker, folks. I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their day. Now today we've got a very fun video because we're going to be doing a full stack video that's inspired by a recent video once again by Silverstruck. Silverstruck is one of our favorite channels to watch, and I really try not to miss any of his videos, and I urge you to give him a subscription while you're here. Before we get the video started, give him a subscription because he's got some beautiful vintage silver videos, and it's truly the case that none of them should be missed. So before we get into this video, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to him, and now let's dive right in because we've got a full stack video here of American Prospectors here, produced none other by our favorite refiner to collect vintage pieces by, and that is Engelhard. Now here we have a plethora of different offerings here as it relates to American Prospectors. Now we don't have them all. In fact, all of them, almost all of them, could have been witnessed there, at least as it relates to the proofs. Now, Silverstruck has reached a milestone, one of the first members, in fact, the first member to have a verified collection of Prospector proof rounds. And this includes the iconic 1988 Summit Bank Corporation, which is going to be the only 1988 dated Prospector that exists. So that's a very elusive round, and it's very, very impressive that he was able to get that entire set put together, graded, and verified. Very, very nice. And so you've got to check out that video. Before we continue on with this video, you got to go pause this video, go check out that video, and make sure you've taken a nice gander of all his beautiful Prospector collections. Now here we've got a few more additional pieces that we may or may not have covered on that video. I'm going to try not to spend too much time on the items that were covered there, but of course I can't help myself. Sometimes I do like to nerd out, so it may end up being a lengthy video, but I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. We've got everything from silver to gold to even platinum Prospectors here, so I'm excited to show you a little sampling of all the Prospector offerings that I have to offer, including a huge selection of fractional and non-fractional toners. I do love collecting some nice toners, so we'll take a look at those toners. I don't know how great my camera is going to be doing it. Typically I don't have the camera worked down. Even on my live auctions, I typically don't have the camera worked down on the toners yet, so I'm still working on that, but I will do my best. Before we get into the toners though, I've got to go through all the basics, even the non-Engelhard Prospectors that I've got two different variations, a 2010 dated that you'll see over here, and then I got a 2012 dated. Now these are just generic non-Engelhard Prospectors. In fact, I even have a couple error plunges here. This one's a little blank one. We've even got a couple blurry ones here, so a couple errors there in that minting process, but these are non-Engelhard fractional 1 grams. Engelhard did not produce any 1 gram fractionals. The only fractionals that Engelhard produced, of course, are going to be our 10th ounce, which were produced at a mintage of 50,000. Okay, and then you got the quarter ounce, which is going to be the rarest of the fractionals. Those are going to be produced in mintage of 25,000, and then you got your half ounce, which also, just like the 10th ounce, is going to be having a mintage there of 50,000, and so those are going to be lower mintage than your 1985 counterparts. And the interesting thing here about the 1985 is actually there's a couple different types. There's going to be a standard, a large, and a bold date. So I've covered that in a separate video. I'm not going to go over that, but all we got to know is that there's a 1982, 1983, 1984, 1985, 1982, 1983, 1984, and of course it's another 1984. There's an eagle and an E logo reverse there in 1984 rather, standard production Prospectors. Then we've got the couple different types of the 1985 standard productions, right? Small nuances between those, and then the 86 and the 87. Okay, so that covers your standard production, right? And then we've got the fractional, which we've also covered. The other thing is that in some of these earlier rounds is that they were issued in these plastic seals here. Sometimes you'll see the E logo strips here, and this is what you see most commonly. It's going to be these 1982 dated with the E logo on the back, and these would come originally in strips of 10. So this is a full strip of 10 that you got here, and in fact over here we got a full strip of 10 as well, but notice over here we've got a 1984 date. So this is going to make 1984 E-logo rather, and that's a full strip of 10 as well. Now over here we got another couple Eagle backs. So we just take a look at two E-logo reverses, and over here we got a 1984 strip, or at least partial strip, of Eagle reverse. So the Eagle reverse factory sealed rounds, I should say, are not too easy to come by. I don't see those too often. Here's another couple Eagles. Here's another couple Eagles. Here's another couple Eagles. So that's very, very not common. I don't see that too often at all. Not at all. In fact, I think I might have even possibly seen a 1985 sealed. I thought I had an example of that, but I'm not really seeing it. So perhaps if that turns up, we'll be able to show it to you. No, I don't see anything here. But I could have sworn I've seen a 1985 factory sealed round. I won't belabor that point, but I guess keep an eye out for that, because in my mind I feel like I've seen that before, and I thought I had one here to show you, and perhaps I'm just missing it or something. But like I said, I won't spend too much time trying to track down what may not even be here. So in addition to that, I got these cool little set here. I got this just on the flea bay, I like to call it, because I've had some run-ins with flea bay. I really don't like the ethics of that company, but regardless, sometimes you got to rely on the auctions and stuff that are on there to be sniped. And take a look at this. This is a very cool case where I was able to display my beautiful standard production rounds as well as the 3 fractionals there in the center. So I really like this case. It's a really nice display case. Super happy that I've got an example of that. On top of that, we got some beautiful plated. These look gold because they are actually plated in 24 karat gold, but in fact they're actually silver prospectors, and I've actually got fractional as well as standard production 1985 gold plated prospectors. Couple of those examples, so that's pretty cool. I just happened to pick those up at pretty close to melt, and that's kind of what I would be comfortable paying on something like that. Something that has been done aftermarket. These are not originally done at the Engelhard factory, but at the end of the day, it is very, very cool. Now, moving on to the rare stuff, we have some beautiful, beautiful toners. I don't know if the camera will even do them justice, but believe me when I say there are some gorgeous toners around these parts here. This one's just absolutely black here, and then this one's got some gorgeous blues there on the side as well. This one over here, my goodness gracious, I don't know if the light will hit it, but boy, is that a gorgeous one. So I really love collecting some gorgeous toners like that, but in addition to that, my goodness, look at the blueness on this one. In addition to that, I of course, and take a look at the toning on this. I like to collect the rare stuff. So this one right here, for example, is a rare Prospector proof. And sometimes I like to grab duplicates of the proofs. So these ones here, you'll see some clean Prospector proofs produced from 1986. That's a pretty cloudy capsule. If you look over here, that's a much cleaner capsule. So this is going to be an example of a pretty toned up and rough looking one, and it's very poorly graded in fact. And this one over here is an example one that would likely grade quite high. Now I'm personally, as you saw Silver Strike, he's got all this Prospector proofs graded. It's just not something that I typically have ever been into grading, so it's not something that I do. He always strongly recommends that I do it, but for some reason I just don't do it. So the 88 Summit Bancorp, unfortunately I don't have. The 87 nobody has because there is no 87 proof, right? But then over here we got the 85 proof. We got the 84 proof, which is going to have that E logo on the reverse. And over here we got an 82 proof. What's missing? We got the 83 proof over here, but the thing about the 83s is that there is an Eagle as well as an E logo proof. And that E logo is going to be a little bit more higher mintage, but for me, I've had a tougher time finding that because as you can see, I've got 2 of these Eagle ones right here, and I only had 1 of those E logo ones, which unfortunately, and actually fortunately, I was able to pass that over to Silverstruck, so he was able to complete his set. So I was pretty proud to be able to contribute to that full set that he was able to complete. Now over here we got my favorite of the all the prospectors. This is going to be the Canadian Prospector. And why is this my favorite? Because it's got a beautiful goose on the reverse. Take a look at the toning on this one. This one's crazy. You can't really see it in the light very well, so I won't try to waste too much time on it. But at the end of the day, what's really cool about these is they were originally issued in boxes like this. And here's a really nice example of a Canadian Prospector. Over here, flipping it over, and these are the original capsules here as well, a little bit thicker and rounded edges. And got a Canadian goose there in the back. So this is something we did see on Silverstruck's channel as well. In fact, everything here we've seen on Silverstruck's channel, and something we haven't seen on Silverstruck's channel in addition to that original box is this original box. Seems to be that it was possibly given out to some very special employee, because it is the actual Canadian Prospector that was issued in a 25 years of service. So I believe this was likely given out to an employee who had 25 years of service, exactly that. And take a look at the toning on this one. This is by far the most gorgeous example of a Canadian Prospector proof I've ever seen. Unfortunately, the camera's not doing it justice, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Now, onto the fun stuff, the non-silver items. What I had promised you is there's going to be a platinum prospector, and I don't think we saw any platinum prospectors on Silverstruck's channel. So let's take a look at the one and only example that I've got here. And this is going to be a 1986 dated. Turn it around, and there's going to be an eagle in the back. Now, there's a lot of nuances when it comes down to, I'm not sure if it's the platinum prospectors, but definitely on the gold prospectors on the reverse, there's other variants and stuff that you got to keep in mind. So it's really quite a daunting task to be able to collect all the prospectors in existence. It's not something that is one of my goals. I don't believe I would ever be able to complete it. I have a customer of mine who has set a goal many months back, in fact many years ago, to complete a full prospector set including all silver, platinum, and gold prospector. And when he told me this goal, I just thought to myself, this is an inconceivably difficult goal to achieve that is unlikely to be achieved. And contrary to my belief, he has almost fully completed that set, and it is wild because it is a sight to see. There's only a couple missing gaps, literally a couple, meaning I can count them on on a couple fingers, meaning 2 or 3 fingers. So it's ridiculous to me that he was able to diligently complete that task, right? For me, I'm very satisfied to have, at least a couple examples in each of these weight classes here on the gold. So that's exactly what I've got here. Here it's a pretty rough looking 10th ounce gold prospector. It's got a 1985 date, which you're probably not even going to be able to see. And this looks to be that it was probably ex-jewelry. It's got a lot of kind of like almost damage, and well, it's a pretty rough round. Let's just put it that way. It's an ex-jewelry round. It's probably originally made into a pendant. Okay, so that one right there, we've got a 10th ounce. Then over here in the assay, I was glad to have example in the assay. We've got a 1/4 ounce in the assay. A 1/4 ounce prospector, also a 1985. And then here, I believe this is a 1982. Yeah, this is a 1982. And instead of an eagle reverse, we got the E logo reverse. And this is going to be a 1/2 ounce prospector. So we got the 1/2 ounce prospector, and then of course we've got the 1 ounce prospector. And this 1 ounce prospector is going to be a 1976 date, and I do believe it's going to have the same reverse as the one that Silverstruck had, which I believe he had the 1977. So we got sequential years there between me and him. Very, very cool. EMC logo reverse on that. So to me, I'm very, very satisfied with the prospectors I've been able to collect up until this point, but of course the hunt continues, and so I'm always going to be keeping my eye out for examples that I don't have in my collection yet. And of course, sometimes we need to restock, because of course we are selling on our auction. There's people that need some of these items, and so I like to always tell people that I'm not silver bar seller, I'm silver bar stacker, and I'm silver bar sharer. So ever anything that you're looking for, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll be happy to see if I can help share with you. Cheers.
Oh, and if you haven't had a chance to yet, be sure to check out our social media landing page at solo.to/silverbarstacker. There you can find our direct website link, which is silverbarstacker.com, as well as our links to our other social media channels, such as this very YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page, our Twitter page, and we also have the link to our Whatnot page, which is where we actually run our live auctions and actually also have all of these same SBS drops that we hold. We run those same drops on our Whatnot store, and we also have live auctions happening literally all the time. So the way that you can be notified about those auctions is to be following us there on whatnot.com/user/silverbarstacker. And we hope to see you there, folks. Thank you, and have a great day.